All right, the Hub will come to order. I'm pleased to welcome you all to this second round of Museum Vice Chancellor Debate Championship 2022. I would like to remind the members of the floor, they may only raise a point of information in the constructive speech and only after the first minute and before the last minute of speech. Also, please ensure that your internet connection is stable and your voice is audible. Are there any inquiries before we start?
Dan Permas.
Okay, with that, I call upon the Prime Minister to deliver her speech. The floor is yours.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. NFTs are a risky asset categories at this point, but they will form the bedrock of the virtual economy. A very good evening I bid to the esteemed educators, punctual timekeepers, respected opponents, and members of the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's debate. The motion given today is this House support the emergence of NFT. So we as today and our side, we are standing strong with this motion. So we as today proposition have structured our case as follows. I as the Prime Minister will lay down the foundation of the case and present one argument, which is the NFT encourage rapid income generator. And my second speaker will rebut the leader of opposition and elaborate on two arguments, which are it provides security and also giving power for content creators than ever before, and to build up her case. And lastly, the third speaker will give his rebuttals and strengthen our case. So members of the floor, given the motion today, there are two prominent key points that determine the path of the debate tonight, which is firstly is the emergence. Emergence is the rise of the NFT and the elevating percentage of its users nowadays and how it is beneficial to our developing of our rapid developing world. And secondly is NFT itself. It is a platform of fungible items that can be exchanged with bill dollars. It can represent a digital art like GIF, like music and video, or real world items like tickets to real world events, tokenized invoices, signatures, and lots more options to get creative with. So and another one, another prominent key point here is support. Is that we are promoting this NFT to every sectors of this world. So I will elaborate on this matter soon. So the status quo. The status quo of this debate is that NFTs are currently taking the digital art and collectibles world by storm. So digital artists are seeing their life changes thanks to huge sales to a new crypto audience. And celebrities are joining in as they spot a new opportunity to connect with fans. But a digital art is only one way to use NFTs. Really, they can be used to represent ownership of any unique asset. It can be music. It can be anything that you have in your ideas, like a deep for an item like a deep of digital items or also physical realm. So at the end of this debate, there are three things that we want to achieve, which are firstly to support content creators, secondly to give opportunity to others to get more income with their ideas, and third to ensure that their ideas are safe and secure from copy and plagiarism. And on the government side, ladies and gentlemen, we want to celebrate creative minds in this rapid developing world without worrying their work being plagiarized. Hence, has a solution to support this emergence of NFT is by promoting its usage in any platform. For example, if you are playing an online game, the organizer of the game or or the developer of the game should promote the usage of NFT by giving message to their players, or giving it and notes to their users to buy this the usage of NFT to buy the skin as to support the rising content creator. Like we have skin in Mobile Legend and anything that is in-game purchase items. Other than that, the sports sector can promote the usage of NFT on selling their tickets to football match, for example, or promoting merchandise created by the fans to the world to buy and get money from it. So the fans can also get benefits from it. And the burden coming from the side of government is simple. First, we want to prove how NFT could effectively generate more incomes. Second, how NFT could bring benefits to the stakeholders, which is the users and also the buyers and also the world also. And third, how NFT could create a generation of creative thinkers. With that, we would like the opposition to answer the question and prove to us how by not supporting NFT could elevate the rise of creative thinkers drastically. So with that, so ladies and gentlemen, I will start with me. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the floor, I would like to deliver the first argument of our side for today, which is rapid income generator. So as I said just now, the usage of NFT could ensure that your ideas won't be plagiarized, and at the same time, you give at the same time it gives you royalties. And it is also used in a lot of sectors like esports, sports, tickets, in-game purchase, music, essays. You have you name it. You have endless of possibilities at getting income and it is limitless. So users can get a lot of economic source regardless of their ideas, as long as they play hard with their creativity and has the confidence to promote their content. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine you are a content creator and you know you have the capability and you have the potential to create something that is new, to create something that is good for all people. And with the rise of NFT, it is justified and it is only natural for you to take advantage of it and involve to make more money from this, as you know it's safety and its benefits and it's really a guarantee on generating money. So the digital assets creator can earn passive life. Yes, sir.
You say that it is a guarantee to earn money. Then how do you address the issue of fluctuation in the price of NFT and cryptocurrency? Thank you.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't understand your point, but
okay. Yeah. Can I pause it because this is over time? Okay, so like you say that NFT is one of the most prominent way to earn money. However, can you address the issue where the price of NFT is continuously fluctuating over time? Thank you.
Okay, as I say, that the digital asset creator can earn passive lifetime royalties. So even after selling it out to someone else, the creator needs to impose terms, and then whenever someone buys the asset you initially created, you will still get royalties over your lifetime. So that is actually a lifetime investment, a lifetime to get money, and it is guaranteed that you can get money from it. And with this, to recapitulate, let me reaffirm our side stance, which is we would like to celebrate creative minds in this rapid developing world, everyone. And for all these reasons, the motion must stand. I've never been prouder to propose.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for the speech. The speaker spoke for 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Now, I would like to call upon Leader of Opposition to give her speech. The floor is yours.
Am I audible? Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1. I bid a very good evening to the channel. Thank you, first honorable judges, 40 panel of team members, and my supportive team members. Lastly, a member of the home. So, before I start my motion debate today, I will start by rebutting the point from the first Prime Minister. Firstly, they want to say that they want to support the content creator that want to encourage creative and being safe from plagiarism. However, I think their stakeholders are quite small. How about the buyers that involved in the NFT? Because in NFT it also required the buyers, also the sellers. So moving to the next, how can this government be sure that this NFT, their content may not be plagiarized, because there are certain cases that has been that widely around the world has been case that maybe this NFT being plagiarized has become they being hacked, which I later will take in my point. So moving to the next, they want to give the support to the content creator. Of course, in this area, there are many ways to support. However, they are not giving any mechanism that how can this NFT being safe from being plagiarized, and the ownership of their content. So, in identity is really benefit to the content creator and also to the buyers also. Okay. Right now, moving to the next, we as the opposition don't have the equality. Why we need to support NFT? We don't need the urgency, because I don't think it is really important in throughout the world, because this kind of new things have many flaws and is still in the trial and error state. So why do we need to push out that something that have the pros and cons, that really push most cons than the pros? So then I will split our thinkers today. I, as the opposition leader, will give my point, which is this NFT is having a high risk in cyber security. Next, my deputy opposition leader, we come up with two points, which is first, it will distribute of their stability, and the next point is there is career risk has become is risk our future generation. And lastly, our our third speaker will rebut all and sum up of our case today. Okay, first of all, in my opinion, there are high risks because high risk in the security threat, because the high chance the damage of the digital asset and investor buying and selling in the market. Why do I say so? There are some case which from the DeFi, which is decentralized finance network, which name is Poly Network. They had been attacked by hacker and they have been stolen around $900 million. Next is, I would like to all come up with the scenario when in this area, of course, hackers may be arise because their knowledge has been widely used. So this type of NFT, they can be easily attacked. So that's why the cyber threat using NFT is really higher. Another thing is I want to say is when this time is this as I mentioned earlier about the pluralism, NFT may be easy to replicate when there is someone trying to replicate the original NFT or they don't have the ownership. Then they try to make a fake from the original store. This they may target the certain buyers that doesn't have enough knowledge or experience in this type of sellings. So that's why this this type of thing is really uh, uh, it really pushed to the cyber threats. So that's why our stance is we need to we as the opposition the oppose this motion today as we stand for the immerse of amnesty will bring more harm than more benefit uh, in not just in our country but in our world truly. So so before I ending our before I end our what my I stands for, I will push out our angle is to try not to disrupt the security and economic balance that our country in the economic balance that we have already achieved as when the NFT may have been causing fluctuation in economic balance. So that's why we as the opposition does not support this motion today. That's all for me. Thanks for hearing.
Thank you to a leader of opposition for the speech. The speaker spoke for 6 minutes and 52 seconds. Now I would like to call upon Deputy Prime Minister to give his speech. To give a speech. The floor is yours.
Hello, am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Assalamualaikum and a very good evening I bid to the educators, precise timekeepers, and members of the floor. First of all, when the leader of the opposition stated that we, the government side, haven't stated our mechanism in today's debate, but unfortunately, leader of the opposition, my first speaker has already stated and explained her mechanism, which is we want to promote NFTs in every sectors possible. Now, moving on to my rebuttal of the first speaker of the opposition, when he stated that NFTs NFT will have high risk of cybersecurity. Now, NFTs has actually improved cybersecurity because they are difficult to duplicate and link to other digital assets. The use of cryptography also enhances protection, and they are also versatile, which means users may utilize them in a variety of ways. Now, furthermore, NFTs provide a supplementary layer of security for enterprises and individuals who want to secure their digital assets. Now, that's all my rebuttal for the leader of opposition. Now, I want to move on with my arguments, which I will be stating two arguments in today's debate, which is the first one, that NFT provides security of authenticity. Now, for owners, okay, who wants to securely keep their property online to avoid the fraud or forgery. Okay, why? How is it possible? How can this be done? No, these their properties can be tracked on the blockchains as they are sold or transferred to other people. So these sellers are likely to know where their properties are or whom it's going to be. And for anyone who wants to create or put a property online for sale, doesn't need to worry about it being stolen due to the complexity of the blockchain itself. Now, a real world physical assets like diamonds or real estate can also be tokenized and then traded. As long as there is a clear provenance, which is a known source or history of ownership for the physical items, once registered as NFT, they can easily be traded on a global market. Another explanation where I'll give you another explanation, which is for celebrities or artists or anyone that they want to sell their arts or any products in a good platform for them, without worrying about their art being stolen or copied, rather than putting them on selling platforms like Amazon, Shopee, or Instagram or Shein, as they do not have the policies of security as advanced as NFT. NFT also makes the markets more efficient, as it is easy to get money and to gain more income, as what my first prime minister have already stated. Now, both digital and physical art can be tokenized and traded and tracked by the blockchain. A study shows that in March 2021, a JPG image or JPEG image produced and digital artist, which is Beeple, fetched $69 million in an auction run by Christie's. So other high-profile artists, musicians are creating new art as well as tokenize their historical catalogs. Now, that is my second arguments of the opposition side. Now we move. Now we move on to the last argument by our side, which is NFTs giving power to content creators than ever before. Now, NFT have generated plenty of buzz lately, like celebrities, gamers, artists, musicians, and internet personalities taking part in NFTs industry. Of course, in making big money, as it's now a big I would like to say it's a big platform for nowadays the rapid developing country, developing world. Okay, in 27th August 2021, NFTs were sold. 3,836 NFTs were sold with trading volume of $3.03 million. So how does it help them? Okay, so by giving content creators more autonomy when it comes to maximize their earnings, and NFTs also provide value to the digital creators, and all caused by the NFTs limited nature and unique codes. So it leads to a very lucrative opportunity for the creators itself. Now, other than that, they can earn more if a buyer is. Okay. I'll continue my point. Now, other than that, they can earn more if the buyer resells their works. Now, furthermore, NFTs could store extra information and more varied compared to others source or others platform. The content creator can decide on the scarcity, which is the content creator just want to, if the content creator just want to make like 3 NFTs, so they can do that. They have the capability of decide on their own scarcity. So that is all from the government side's arguments, where I stated once again that we governments have already stated our mechanism by our Prime Minister, and we already stated the three main arguments from our government, and we want the opposition side to answer to our burden of proof. So with that, I've had never been proud to propose to this motion. Thank you.
Thank you to the Deputy Prime Minister for the speech. The speaker spoke for 7 minutes sharp. Now I would like to call upon Deputy Leader of Opposition to deliver his speech. The floor is yours.
Audio check. Audio check. Okay, in the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, the most merciful, the most graceful, if Allah permit, I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. A very good evening. I bid to everyone present in this hall. So as the Deputy Opposition Leader, I will be constructing my speech in 3 different patterns. The first one is mentioning, highlighting, recapitulate the flaws that has been made by the government side, and I will rebut the argument that was provided and the unanswered question that was left out. And then the third one, I will push upon a point on why we are sticking on our stance where we are rejecting the emergence of an FT. It says my connection is unstable. Am I still audible? Okay. I assume that is a yes. Okay, too. So the first one is, I think, a question that was asked by the Prime Minister, where does an NFT elevate the rise of creative thinkers drastically? So I would like to re-ask the same question. Does NFT actually provide any benefit aside from the economic aspect? And in which the economic aspect is also an unanswered question that was asked by me. I said that the price of cryptocurrency NFT itself is continuously fluctuating. So I wouldn't say that it is the very reliable source of income. That also hasn't been answered. And the thing that must be provided by the government's side, first and foremost, is actually regarding this, how they wanted to support the rise of the emergence of NFT. Do they wanted to make NFT themselves, or do they want to provide a better exposure regarding NFT to the society, to the general public, or do they just wanted to cover every single profit that was made by NFT to themselves, because they seem like to be the only one knowledgeable about this particular subject? Because all that I have been hearing from the government side is actually things like teaching us what NFT is, without actually pushing upon how they wanted to support NFT in itself. So yeah, that is my first part of the speech. And then I will move on to the second part, where the Deputy Prime Minister mentioned regarding how the security is very much advanced using the blockchain technology, non-fungible token, yada yada, and so on, so on. And also the authenticity will always be guaranteed, because the NFT stand for non-fungible token, where the buyer and the creator can be traced. However, have you ever decided on how you can guarantee that the provider of the NFT itself, or the site, the third-party site that is handling the transaction of NFT, does not betray itself? I will pick one of the cases where this is not regarding to the scamming the NFT itself. However, it is regarding the NFT provider, a third-party provider. At first, they said that they wanted to contribute some of their earning to the child cancer community. However, as they have reached the requested amount, they said like, no, go to sorry, it is a bad word, but go to with the child charity. I will take all that money to myself. This is one instance of where the creator himself or herself betrays the buyer and also the third party in NFT transaction. And also this is unmonitorable by us, because we are the government, and NFT is still not something that is monitored by us. So it is a very big concern actually for the general public. Maybe you are trying to push forward to the creative community, to the artists, to the content creator, and so on. But yeah, I believe that we also need to take into consideration the stakeholder of the general public as a whole. And the next one, you can say that it can be you can avoid it from being stolen due to the technology again. However, there are multiple instances of where they are doing Discord hack and phishing and so on. As I mentioned, again, this is still not something stable, so it is not ready to be introduced to the general public, in which you don't even tell us how you wanted to introduce it to support the emergence. And then, all right, so you can say that one of the example that you gave is where one of the NFT was sold for 6-point-something million. Can you imagine spending that money in that particular for that simple copy of digital item? I believe it is not really relevant. Even physical art does not usually reach that price. So yeah, I think there need to be a price monitoring because it is correlated with the fluctuation. And then the last one, you said that you wanted to give power to the content creators. And then I believe that we already have numerous amount of example regarding how content creators bring more harm towards our society rather than actually benefiting us, because as the name said itself, it is content creators, their task is to entertain the people. So yep. And also there has been one research that was conducted by Stanford University, if I'm not mistaken, that a people that talk about another people usually has a smaller IQ. Actually, this research was conducted towards the artists. However, you wanted to push content creators. If content creators get more famous, then they will be talked about often, and you are actually indirectly minimizing the thinking capability of the general public again. Okay, and then I will proceed to the third part of my speech, where I will be pushing 2 points why I oppose this thing. The first one regarding financial stability. As I mentioned, NFT are usually bought using cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency itself has too much fluctuation to be used as a trustworthy financial source. And then you can see, for instance, Elon Musk used to play around with his tweet earlier last year, if I'm not mistaken. He tweeted dog, and then Dogecoin suddenly raised in price. And then he said to the moon, and then suddenly another sort of cryptocurrency rise. So this sort of fluctuation was controlled by a single tweet, by a single person. And you are trying to say that this is a reliable source of economy? No. I think that in the long term, it will also damage the fiscal stability of our country. And then the second aspect of financial stability is actually the resource, because as we know, cryptocurrency use a lot of electricity to mine. And then aside from that, there are also graphic card shortage that was caused by the cryptocurrency mining, okay, and so on. And then the second point I will make the second point is actually regarding how you are trying to push the content creators forward. This is, I believe, is actually risking our future generation. Why? Okay, let me elaborate on that. Because the first one, the people that knows how to make NFT are one, the person who are knowledgeable about computers, and two, the person who have an artistic value. And you combine these two together, you get a very, if you put these two qualities on a person, then that person will be a very desirable person in the community, in the country, and the corporate world. And if you are trying to say that they can make this as their living, then they will leave the corporate world. And how does this impact us? If they are leaving the corporate world, then we lose a valuable asset in our country. We already are experiencing brain drain throughout the country, where we are losing valuable person that migrate to overseas because they wanted to have a better chance at living. And now you are trying to push even more of the talented person away from our workforce. Are you trying to put our country into demise? Why am I saying this? Because the countries that have already been establishing cryptocurrencies are developed country, and while we are still a developing country. And also regarding the security, you can also mention that our internet speed is very slow, so we cannot compete against them if they were to be a hacking competition regarding NFT. So I believe that my points are pushed forward. So thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you to the Deputy Leader of Opposition for the speech. The speaker speak for 7 minutes and 9 seconds. Now I would like to call upon Government Whip to deliver the speech. The floor is yours.
Mic test. Am I audible? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Okay. Sorry, 3, 2, 1. So NFT is the future of digital properties. And the government today supports the motion that the House supports the emergence of NFT. So I bid good evening to the educators, and the timekeeper and members of the floor. So let's move on with rebutting the points that has been brought up, or the arguments that have been brought up by the opposition. The opposition leader brought up the concern about how we did not specify about how the NFT may not be plagiarized. And I believe our Deputy Prime Minister did a good job in rebutting that, or in answering their concern. But I would also like to elaborate more on this. The NFT, they have digital footprints on the blockchain. It is a proof of ownership in the form of code. And even if someone plagiarized the art one-to-one, even if someone plagiarized every brushstroke of the art, it is still not the same, due to the fact that the coding in the art, when it is digitalized, is totally different. And other than that, the opposition leader also raised the concern that the NFT economy is still in trial and error stage. I believe that this is not true, as the NFT economy has been flourishing for quite a long time now, and it has many people have been involving themselves with NFT. I'm sorry, and and even though we do believe that there are some flaws with NFT today, and we do believe that it is still quite early for NFT to show their benefits, we are trying to show that it has benefits, that it has potential in revolutionizing the digital property. The opposition leader also raised concern on the high risk in cybersecurity of the NFT, that the hackers have more knowledge that they have used, that have been widely used. I would like for you to imagine the NFT. The NFT is has a sort of coding in the blockchain. The blockchain is also created by coding professionals. No matter how sorry, let me rephrase that. The blockchains are created by professionals, so it means they know what they're doing. They know the risk. They know how to protect their blockchain, how to protect the security of their platform, because they know if their platform is easily breachable, has a high cybersecurity risk, their platform will not flourish. Their platform will not be used in the future. And also, even if an NFT is stolen, it can still be verified through the history of ownership that is provided, that is shown in the codes that can be traced up to the first creator of the NFT. And also to bring up something similar, Bitcoin theft or cryptocurrency theft is not a known thing, not a common thing. Although there are a few cases, very small, minor cases, it is not a widely known thing. It is not a wide concern that is. It is not widely a concern that is being battled today. And and then for the deputy opposition leader, they said that we did not from the government side did not explain how to support the emergence of the NFT. However, we did do that. My prime minister and my deputy prime minister did say that we proposed that we propose that the NFT should be integrated in all sorts of digital purchases, like purchasing e-tickets, purchasing concert tickets, plane tickets, and other sorts of digital properties that can be bought online to slowly integrate the NFTs in a country. And then among another concern, and so the Deputy Opposition Leader also asked asked our Prime Minister about other benefits other than economical aspect of the NFT. So first of all, NFT is mainly focused on economy. That's true, but there are also many other aspects to NFT. So to make out NFT as a scam is to ignore the actual potential of transactions of the digital goods, and to verify the ownership of something like contracts or concert tickets, as I said before, and creating a network, a platform that verifies the ownership and authenticity of such things would revolutionize, would bring about a whole new world of online sales. Anything of value can be attached to an NFT code in the blockchain, and that will eliminate the risk, or severely reduce the risk of it being stolen, or of it being faked. So the more NFT grows, it's very possible that anything can become an NFT. And the long-term goal of NFT is that in the future everything becomes NFT. And as some people have said, NFT is a higher form of certificate of ownership. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you to the government whip for the speech. The speaker spoke for 7 minutes and 5 seconds. And now I would like to call upon opposition whip to deliver the speech. The floor is yours.
Hello, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So I'll be starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So me as the opposition whip will be writing the points given by the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, and also give summarization of all the argument that have been presented by my side, the opposition side. So first thing first. We as the opposition, as the opposition want to reform our stance, which is we are standing with the opposing the motion, which is to not support the excuse me, which is to not support the I'm sorry. Right. So it supports the emergence of NFT. Right. So next, and our stance is because NFT is the emergence of NFT is it brings more harm than benefit. Right. So first thing first, the Prime Minister said the Prime Minister has said that from the government side, they talk about how their stance is to create to support the creative minds without having them to worry about plagiarize. And this has been mentioned. This has been rebutted by my opposition leader and also been supported by my deputy opposition leader about how they didn't give a mechanism about how they are free from being worrying about plagiarize. But then the deputy prime minister has support has give the points that it provides security that are difficult to duplicate, and NFT provides supplementary with a larger insecurity and the complexity of blockchain and so on. But then, like my deputy of opposition leader has said, how exactly the government can guarantee that the buyer of the third party will not be traced. So and also there's a crime rate. I found out how can you be and also that the point that the government side that have that give NFT provides supplementary larger insecurity and complexity of blockchain. It is all just I would say an assumption, and because they don't provide any example of how it really works and how it can guarantee the people that who are actually buying and doing the NFTs. All right, so the NFTs actually the crime rate of NFT has a data that it finds that NFT crime is on the rise. Right. So the report cited 262 incidents of forged sales occurring, producing net criminal proceeds of roughly $8.5 million, but which is a lot, but not much when you consider the chain analysis tracked $44.2 billion in NFT transactions in 2021. So how can they provide such a statement without even regarding the crime rates, the statistics that stating that the crime coming from the crime that are produced by people involving in NFT are showing. So they didn't even mention any of that. So I would say they didn't provide enough information, right? So they just want to give the positive sides about NFT. That like my deputy opposition leader has said that the whole idea is just they want to promote this NFT, like about the to support the content creator and all the celebrities, and they want to support the celebrities who have the potential to sell their arts and group platform and all that. So using NFT, it has a lot of benefit. It lost a lot of increment and in a short of time. So it can be a lifetime investors and so on. And then they just mentioned about how celebrities take part in the industry, and it will be rapid in a country and even in the world. It will be something that people will have to take note and will be excited to involve in. So and even more if buyer resell their work. So they just talk about how the money increment works, and they didn't even think about the risk behind of how the negativity of how the we need to be fair and state about the pros and cons, right? So our deputy opposition leader has said, how can it guarantee the buy of that because it cannot be traced, all right? So NFT transaction, it will not be concerned about by the government. And how about the general public? All right, so how it will be consumed towards the general public. Why we from the opposition side really concerned so much about general public? So because as the government has already said that they state that they support the they state that they will support the celebrities and artists, and celebrities also take part in the NFTs as it brings commercialize on the internet and widespread, and to promote this to promote these NFTs, right? So that is exactly why we need to give spotlight towards the majority, which is the general public. So who will also always be the third party of the NFTs, like. And these stakeholders, they have never mentioned anything about and concerns about these stakeholders, and that's why we from the opposition side, our end goal is to. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm sorry. Right, we from the opposition side. All right, our end goal is we try to not disrupt the security and economic balance that our country have before we are ready. Right, we are totally ready because we are a developing country. Our stance is that it is not bringing more harm and benefits because it is not ready to be published for the general public because it is not it is not an emergence that we need to be pushed to like an emergence, like it need to be supported in this for this motion today because our I'm sorry, because our stakeholders, this motion today are for the general public. This motion today are for the people who will be involved in the NFTs and all the people who will take responsibilities and also to avoid the crime rates that has been that will be given opportunity for the for people who want to risk make a crime out of the NFT system, and also where someone is there will also someone is impersonating a famous NFT artist and selling fake NFTs. So because they are using artists, right? So I just mentioned that. So with that, we from the opposition side really firm to oppose this motion today, and members of the hall, we have to choose the best, so the best, and choose wisely for which will give the more benefit and provide the less worst case scenario for this motion today. And I choose to oppose. Thank you.
Thank you to the opposition whip for the speech. The speaker spoke for 7 minutes and 59 seconds. Now, both of the government and opposition are being given 1 minute to prepare their reply speech. Okay. The time is up. I call upon the speaker from the opposition side to deliver their reply speech. The floor is yours.
Audio check. Okay, thank you. Without further ado, I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so, as a reply speaker from the opposition side, I would like to re-mention again, recapitulate everything that has been going on into this debate and reaffirm the educators and why we should reject this motion. The first one is I would like to criticize to mention the flaws. This is the final flaw that was provided by the government side. Okay, regarding the first one is regarding the end goal. They wanted to support content creators and also encourage creativity. This is without a doubt a very honorable and noble cause that wanted to be pushed. However, throughout the debate, they have first and foremost failed to address the concern on how this will affect the vast majority, because the only concern is how the content creators as a seller will obtain more money and so on and so on. However, they did not make. They also failed to respond to my question regarding how do you ensure that the NFT providers are not betraying themselves. Obviously, the technology is very advanced and very hard to be cracked. However, you did not address on how to prevent the provider themselves from betraying the buyer and the seller if it is a third party provider. And then also the point that I'm flashing is regarding the mechanism. You said that you wanted to implement it, to integrate it into the transaction. And what sort of transaction actually? Is it like government affiliated companies transaction, or is it the freeholder companies transaction and so on, you fail to provide this. So we did not know clearly and how you are actually trying to encourage the support, the emergence of NFT. Instead, you simply say that you wanted to integrate into where? We as Muslim, integrate Nakli, so on. So at the very least, you should mention that in order to sway our opinion to support your cause. And then, regarding the safe and plagiarism, yep, you can simply screenshot every single NFT of there. Okay, and then, so most of your points are actually very biased towards your stakeholder, in which was mentioned by my opposition whip, where you are very biased towards the content creator and also the creative community. I understand that it is actually not a bad thing if you are biased towards that particular side without harming the vast majority of the community. As a government, as a leading body of the country, we have to always put forward a greater concern for the country as a whole before we are trying to push forward a small community, not a small, actually a part of the community. So at the very least, I sincerely hope that you can first and foremost prioritize the vast majority at first. And throughout the debate, yeah, it failed to address how the vast majority will not be harmed. It's not regarding how they will benefit, but you did not even answer how they will not be harmed if this particular motion is passed. Yep, and I view that as a very irresponsible stance. And then, so from our side, our stance is that we are supporting the NFT in our current situation as a developing country, as the situation where the general public does not know well enough about this thing, will actually bring more harm than benefit. And yes, it is again true because of the points that have been mentioned before. And our end goal is not simply to totally reject NFT, but we are trying not to disrupt the security and financial stability that our community already have before they are ready. After they are ready, maybe we can reintroduce this particular thing. Since you failed to mention the mechanism, we do not know when is it we are ready or not. Okay. And then the worst case scenario in which the motion is rejected is maybe we will be late to the NFT market, but our country, Malaysia, has never lacked talent, especially in creativity. We have a long history of arts and literature. So although we might be a little late to start in the realm of NFT, it would not means that we will keep on losing this particular field. So there are no harm in delaying our emergent support towards NFT. And then the best case scenario, yep, we can ensure that our citizens are ready to engage with this particular technology that is called NFT before we actually integrate ourselves with them. So with that, I rest my case. Thank you.
Now, to conclude, let's welcome the speaker from the government side to give their reply speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last speech of this side of this house. In this speech, I am going to prove what are the lackings, the opposition side, and how our side brought up the case and tackled the motion better than them. So my reply speech will be divided into two. First, why they are wrong, and two, why we are right. Hence, we will prove to you why we should win this debate. So firstly, I'm going to highlight the flaws from their side. So the opposition team is living in a utopia where they can't even identify our given mechanism that I have talked and present so long. So let me restate our mechanism, which is by promoting. Promoting can be done by the developers or organizers of events of any sectors like the sports or lectures or students in education sectors where they could buy good essays or sell their own great developed essays on the NFT. NFT is so wide and the sectors involved is so much wide. So every sector should play the role to promote NFT to public, to increase its involvement and for public to know. You can even use it in social media, or even if you are taking part in this NFT, it is also a term of promoting this NFT to other people. So they also say that our stakeholders is narrow. This is because the vast population of users are the content creators, those who sell their own ideas and creative workers to the world. Should we add more stakeholders than that? It won't be satisfied to this motion. So and then they also fail to engage with our debate direction, which is not focusing. We are not focusing on Malaysia. We are focusing to the world. We are as you said, as the second speaker of the opposition said that Malaysia is a developed country. Yes, it is. Malaysia is a developed country. So that is why we are not focusing on Malaysia. We are focusing to the world, where it is developed digitally, and now Malaysia is also progressive towards the digital world. And also in this debate, we don't urge the society to get involved in NFT, yet we are promoting NFT and expose this medium to a wide audience, especially to those who is talented, to the talented individuals. My dear opposition, content creator can be anyone in the public. Okay, you can be a writer, you can be a writer, you can be a doctor, to be a content creator. You can be anything, and also be a content creator in the digital world. You can make something in the digital world. You can produce poems or essays if you are a writer that can be sold in the NFT and get side money at the same time. So and moving on to the flaws. So there are so many flaws. The arguments coming from the opposition side is not well developed. The second speaker especially rebut too much on our side, yet not paying attention to their arguments and to their second and third points, which is more crucial to let the members of the floor know and understand your case better. Hence, this shows that the opposition side failed to bring up the case properly, and we did it better than them. They also say that NFT are going to harm the future generation. How? They don't understand what is content creator. Like, how are they? You can be a content creator. It can be anyone. It can be me. It can be you. As long as you have the capability to be creative, you can use this NFT. You can use this medium to take to your advantage. So in this debate, we could see that our side is solving this problem better because we are proving through our burden of proof that how NFT could, we already proved how NFT could effectively generate more incomes, and we already proved that NFT could bring benefits to the stakeholders, which is the public, and also the to the content creators, and we also prove that NFT could create a generation of creative thinkers. We are promoting creative thinkers, and with this debate, that is why we should win. Thank you.
That is all for this round debate season. On behalf of the House, I thank the educator for their assistance. I congratulate all the debaters on their performance. Now, the host will assign all the educators to the breakout room to discuss. While the debaters, please remain in this room in the meantime.
While the debaters